Dear friends, welcome to Easy Walk to English Grammar and to Determiners Part 3. Today we will be dealing with three more determiners, much, many and many-a. Let's start with much. Much is a determiner that indicates quantity of a particular noun. It gives us a measurement, a quantity. Means it does not indicate a number, just a quantity. That's the purpose of much. Next point is much is used with uncountable nouns. We all know that nouns are divided into two, countable and uncountable. Countable nouns means those nouns that can be counted. For example, books, one book, two book, three book, four book. They can be called countable nouns. On the contrary, if we take the example of milk or sugar, we know that we cannot count them as one milk, two milk, three milk. Is it possible? No. Can we count sugar as one sugar, two sugar? It's not possible. We cannot go to a shop and ask them for one sugar or two sugar. We can ask them only for a measurement, for a quantity of sugar. In that case, milk and sugar can be treated as uncountable nouns. Friends, I hope you understood the difference between countable nouns and uncountable nouns. And coming back to our point here, much is a determiner that we can use along with uncountable nouns. Means it cannot be used with countable nouns. We can go for an example. Much energy of the youngsters is wasted during this pandemic. I think this is an apt sentence of our present situation. Much energy of the youngsters is wasted during this pandemic because they cannot go out, they cannot do any activity. All over the world, we face lockdowns. So I think much energy of the youngsters is wasted during this pandemic. And what point we have to notice here? Energy, the noun, which is introduced with the help of the determiner much, is an uncountable noun. We cannot count energy as one energy or two energy. And it can be treated only as uncountable nouns, and we use much in front of that noun as a determiner. We don't get a particular measurement from using much, but of course it gives us an indication of quantity. That's the use of much as a determiner. Now we can move on to the next determiner, many. Many, which is just opposite to much, indicates number. Means it does not indicate a quantity but indicates numbers and is used with countable nouns. Both of them have much and many have different uses as determiners. Many indicates number and they are used with countable nouns. For example, the professor has read many books in his lifetime. The professor, he has good knowledge because he has read many books in his lifetime. Here we have to concentrate or focus on the noun books. Has read many books because we used many, the determiner, to introduce the noun books. Books, the noun books is countable because we can count them, and we cannot use much there to introduce this books, which is a countable noun. Instead, we can use only many to introduce them. That's the difference between much and many. Repeating once more the points to be focused. Much is used with uncountable nouns, many is used with countable nouns, and much and many are differently used, much along with quantities and many along with numbers. Did you understand, my dear friends? Now we can move on to the determiner many a. First we'll check the characteristics of many a, the determiner. Many a as the determiner. The first characteristic is it's used with things or persons. The second is it explicitly or implicitly refers to time. That's the difference of many from much and many. Much and many gave us only indications related to quantity or number. Here, many gives us a reference to number, but along with that, either explicitly or implicitly, it gives us a reference to time. Explicitly, the word explicitly, it means uh, something that we can see or feel directly. That's the sense of explicitly. On the other hand, implicitly means something which is hidden, in a hidden state. We can just feel it or only sense it. We can sense it indirectly, but not directly. That's the difference between the words explicitly and implicitly. Friends, I hope you understood the difference between the words explicitly and implicitly. Coming back to our point here, many explicitly or implicitly refers to time. That's the second characteristic. And the third is it indicates plurality. We can see the article a along with many here. Usually the article a indicates a singular noun. But when we use it with many and when the phrase becomes many a, it indicates plurality, and the meaning of the word plurality is something more than one in number. That is the meaning of plurality, and many a helps or indicates uh, plurality. The fourth characteristic is it's followed by a singular noun. Many a is followed by a singular noun. Even though it indicates plurality, many is followed by a singular noun. And the fifth characteristic is it takes a singular verb. It's followed by a singular noun and it also takes a singular verb. Let's go for two examples in order to understand these characteristics. The first is many a person has died at this part of the mountain. The second is many a folly in life finally makes us perfect. These are the two examples that gives us give us evidences for these five characteristics. But I am sure that you may be still confused. So we can check or we can look into these characteristics in detail. Let's look into the first example along with the characteristics, means matching it with the characteristics. The first example is many a person has died at this part of the mountain. And the first characteristic we learned a bit before was with we used many a with things or persons. That was the rule. That was a characteristic we learned. And we can see here that many in the first characteristic is fulfilled here because in this sentence along with many a or many a introduces person. Next characteristic we learned was it explicitly or implicitly refers to time. And we can see here, if we closely observe the verb has died, that this action of dying is not limited to one time. It has repeated a number of times. Many a person has died at this part of the mountain. We clearly get the hint that a number of persons have died a number of times, each person at a time, as you know. So implicitly we get the idea of time from this sentence when we used the determiner many a. Is it clear, my dear friends, now? Looking into the third characteristic, it indicates plurality. And we can see many a person. Even though we say many a person, it clearly indicates plural in number, means a multiple persons. It's clear that here we are not referring to any particular person or any single person, but to a number. The reference is to a number of persons. Plurality. The fourth characteristic, it's followed by a singular noun. We can see that person is a singular noun and many a, the determiner many a is followed by a singular noun. Now the last characteristic, it takes a singular verb. We can see that has is a singular verb. I hope the characteristics are okay for you now. Anyway, let's go for one more example in detail to understand these characteristics of many a bit more clear. Considering the second example, many a folly in life finally makes us perfect. Let's check how these characteristics suit with this sentence or the content of this sentence. The first characteristic with things or persons is satisfied when we see that folly, the word folly or the phrase together, a folly, in a sense comes under the category things. Even though it's not a concrete thing, we cannot touch it or see it, it's an abstract idea. So in a sense we can bring it into the category of things. Hence the first characteristic is okay. Coming to the second characteristic, it explicitly or implicitly refers to time. We can see that a phrase in life is there and it gives us a clear idea of when it happens. And the answer is during a person's lifetime. And the reference of time is there and it's explicitly given there. Hope you understood how the second characteristic suits the content of our sentence. Now to the third characteristic, it indicates plurality. Here we can see that we refer folly in life. Though we used the singular noun folly there, the reference is to the multiple follies that we can make in our lifetime. Hence, it's clear that many a indicates plurality. The fourth characteristic, it's followed by a singular noun, here folly. is singular in number. Its plural form is follies, but we didn't use it here. We used only the singular form. And thus, the fourth characteristic is also true here. Coming to the fifth characteristic, it takes a singular verb. We can see that makes is a singular verb. The plural form of make is make itself. We cannot add s to it. When we add s to a verb, it's a singular form. Thus, the fifth characteristic has also turned up to be a true one. Dear friends, now I think all the characteristics of many a, the phrase many a, is okay for you now. And if you feel that you have benefited from the video, please don't forget to give the video a like. And please wait for the part 4 of determiners and to get a prompt notification of the further videos. If you haven't subscribed to the channel so far, please consider subscribing. While subscribing, please don't forget to tap on the small bell icon and select option all. One more thing, dear friends, this is part 3 of determiners. There are 2 more videos in our channel. For better understanding of these series, please visit our channel and watch those videos also, and other videos are there which will definitely be beneficial for you. We'll meet soon with another useful video, of course with part 4 of determiners. Until then, take care. Bye for now.